Well, Elon stepped in and objected to what Speaker Johnson was about to do, and it appears to have halted it and gotten it slimmed down to what you just said, this more three-point plan, taking care of the farmers, the hurricane relief, and just booting this whole CR thing, the continuing resolution, until a couple months after Trump takes office, where they'll have to deal with it then. But in the meantime, as I said in the intro, the left seems to smell an opportunity here of dividing Trump and Elon. They've been doing it for a while. They see that Elon's been quite a presence at Mar-a-Lago and on President Trump's initial meetings, and they know exactly that Trump has a big ego, like every president, and they're trying to manipulate him psychologically by saying, oh, really, Elon's the president. Really, he's truly the president. He was tweeting about it himself. Wait a second, let me find it on my phone. Elon was today, and seemingly unhappy about the manipulations that we're seeing. So here's what happened first. It was Pramila Jayapal, member of the squad, who tweeted out, "It's not clear who's in charge." She's got a picture of Elon at the Resolute desk. And it's not President-elect Donald Trump. Shadow President Elon Musk spent all day railing against Republicans' CR, succeeded in killing the bill, and then Trump decided to follow his lead. Then somebody retweets this and says, for awareness, note the language here. It's very intentional strategy. The goal is to weaken Trump and Elon by fomenting tensions between them. By jabbing Trump about not being the alpha, the idea is to provoke him, to sideline Elon and to fray the relationship. And Elon retweeted that saying, that is exactly the goal. The political and legacy media puppets all got their new instructions yesterday and are now parroting the same message to drive a wedge between Donald Trump and me. They will fail. You agree that's the strategy right now?
That is the strategy. I want to differ one thing. I think that also, because we're a populist movement, and like even when I went to prison, it's next man up. When the history of this age is written, they're not going to talk about Elon Musk or Tucker Carlson or Steve Bannon or Megyn Kelly or Roger Ailes or, Sean Hannity or anybody. They're going to talk about Trump, the age of Trump, and they're going to talk about this movement, this populist movement, this MAGA movement. It was a reaction of the people. Now, Elon was out and ahead of it, but the revolt from the folks, as soon as they understood what was going on, was enormous, and they blew up their congressmen on the phones and with the text messages, et cetera. Now, to Elon. What he's, I think, presented and offered to the country is pretty extraordinary. We've talked about deconstructing the administrative state now for 8 or 10 years in the Trump movement. Before that, Megyn, you always know that all the conservatives wanted limited government, a small government. Nothing happened. The government expanded until President Trump came along. The government just out of control. What Elon Musk gives you in Vivek is a very sophisticated way to go about this and to bring all the best management techniques out of Silicon Valley and kind of the modern American entrepreneurial enterprise. And that is unique and extraordinary. And we've got to put that to work. What the media is trying to do is obviously trying to separate these two guys and make them in competition. And nothing could be further from the facts. And what's happened over the last 48 hours is they broke the traditional, the 1,500-page, $350 billion giveaway to the political class and to their clients and their puppet masters. And so I thought this was extraordinary. We just have to make sure with the new ecosystem on the right, your show, the streaming services, the new radio programs, the social media, particularly using Twitter as a platform and other platforms. We just have to make sure we get the word out there. Our audience, like your audience, they hunger for details. They hunger for the receipts. They hunger for the facts. They want to use it as part of their agency. So it's more incumbent than ever that we really deliver more information, more facts, and make it actionable so that people can use their agency. So I feel pretty good about it. I think President Trump laughs this off, but you see that, to me, that's kind of a last. If that's what the best they got to play, bring it. If the best you got to play is that there's 2 sun kings and only 1 sky, right? If that's what you got, then so because I think Elon and President Trump have a great relationship. Elon put real money to work on the ground game. He didn't come in, as you've seen him so many times, Megyn, particularly when you were at Fox, all these donors come in, they want all these fancy advertisements. He came in and put money in back of working class people going door to door. I think he understands fully what's going on, and I expect great things out of this.
I watch him with Trump at these events, and I think one thing, if Trump did not want him there, he would not be there. Trump's not shy about kicking anybody out of his orbit. And if he doesn't want to share these events or the spotlight with Elon Musk, he'll tell him to get out. Trump is not a shrinking violet. Even though Elon's huge and really helped him out, I mean, I think he understands Elon supports the movement. It's not all about one man. It's about the movement. So he has an ally, I think, probably for life there. It's not to say there could be no personality clashes, but the media is clearly trying to drive a wedge between them. And I think it's great Elon responded on the record. Let me follow up on something you said about Speaker Mike Johnson. So the conventional analysis is that he was doing pretty well prior to this, that he had managed to make himself into one of the critical Trump orbit people, that when we saw pictures tweeted out at the UFC events of the so-called Avengers, Tulsi, Elon, Vivek, JD, Trump, he was in there. He was kind of like the extra, like in the back. And me too. And that even the political convention now is big change for him in 24 hours, and he's probably not going to survive as speaker. So you said he's got to go. Why?
Well, first of all, he lied to everybody. It's a ball-faced lie. Look, I took a lot of grief early. I think it was, it all blends together now. The first morning of this, when the 1,500 page, because people said, oh, no, he's Trump's speaker. Trump loves this guy. He's very close to Trump. And I told people, this is like about 20 people contacted me because I was coming out off the chain on this thing. I said, I know President Trump. He's going to love him until he doesn't love him. And when he understands all the facts that he was lied to and misrepresented, and John dumped this thing, 1,500 pages of a $350 billion giveaway to Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell. He's not. Once he understands the facts, he's not going to be in love with him when the guy can't deliver. He wants people that can deliver in the billets that they have. And Johnson is, he kind of came as a compromise after McCarthy. Remember, McCarthy was turfed out about the same topic, spending. So no, and I wasn't sure about taking him on because what we have now, Megyn, with this CR these are baby steps. This was supposed to be so easy to bring a clean CR. The hardest core of the ultra MAGA fiscal conservatives, right, would agree, and we hate CRs, but kick it down the road clean. Till President Trump comes in and then vote Bessent, the entire team can work with it. We're good with that. We will, hold our nose and do that this time. That was this is a baby step compared to what has to happen starting January 20th. Not just the investigations, ending these wars, deporting 15 million people. The fiscal and economic issues before us are almost catastrophic. President Trump can thread the needle, but you need it to be like the British call it, a close run thing. You all have to be in sync. You all have to have communications. Nobody can hide the football. Here's how bad they did it. In this 1,500, as you mentioned in your opening monologue, they included a pay raise from themselves from $173,000 to $243,000. Plus, they got out of paying anything for Obamacare. And they weren't upfront with it. They stuck that in the 1,500 pages. I think that was tucked into a paragraph on page 900. They tried to slip that in there without being upfront and saying, hey, we haven't had a COLA increase. I'm not saying you give it to them, but if they came and presented like adults, hey, we haven't had a COLA increase in 15 years. People need to do this because they can't pay for their kids to go to school. The American people said, well, no, you're not getting a pay raise, but at least you would have understood it. They tried to hide that. That's that Washington mentality of hide the football. So no, Johnson's got to go. The important thing for your audience, we have a deeper problem than just one guy. It's just like in taking the government apart and deconstructing. This is not about all these memes out there about you're fired. It's not about people, and it's not about research into, the sex of crickets at Iowa State University. This is billets and programs, programmatically, departments, billets. Boom, this has to be big hunks of stuff that we're just not going to do anymore. It's the scale and scope of a nanny state and the scale and scope of an American empire that our founders and framers never bought into. So Johnson's a symptom of the problem. He's not the problem himself, but there's no doubt he's got to go.
For those of us who have been holding our breath for the past several months, we can finally exhale in the wake of this presidential election, right? Work can finally be done on the major issues that this country's facing, and one of the most significant is our national debt. Look, the fact is our nation's broke, and that debt is a house of cards that cannot be quickly dismantled by anyone. So the strategy remains the same when it comes to your investments. You might want to diversify your savings. Virtually all the experts say that's a good idea. This is why I want to tell you about Birch Gold. So many things are out of our control and out of our president's control that it really can be important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group can help you if you would like to convert all or part of an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold, which is like a hedging of the bets. And the best news is it does not cost you 1 cent out of pocket. You just text MK to 989898 and you get your free info kit. And plus right now you will receive a free 1 ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 purchased Silver Eagle coin. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text MK to 989898 and claim your eligibility for free silver today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.